newcomer who had just gone up the mountain as a handyman. None of the disciples around dared to intervene, just because that kid was the favorite of the Empress. No one in the entire sect dared to offend. I raised my hand and broke it, and directly shook him out. Unexpectedly, the next moment, the Empress led the law enforcement hall to kill me on the spot. How could a mere sword master be my opponent as a sword immortal? If it weren't for the former sect master's desperate request for death, and the sword sect would have been peaceful for 100 years, I would have ascended to the sword long ago in the clouds and fog of the whole clan. In his previous life, he was a sword sect. As soon as it came out, the audience was stunned, and their faces were full of disbelief. After all, everyone knew that I, the Great Elder, had no smoke in my heart, and the sword sect was stable so far, all relying on me, the sword immortal, to guard it. But I didn't look back, turned around and left. The Empress told me to drop the spirit talisman in Jade Lee. My eyes were spiritual, I shouted, depressed. What was pitiful? I understand that you are unwilling to be divorced by this sect, unwilling to be reassured by this sect, and unwilling to lose the spiritual talisman, but that is all your fault for incompetence. Compared with Fanglang, you are a worthless waste, and I immediately pointed out the lawlessness and pulled it out suddenly. They don't know me. 70 years ago I went to the north alone, sweeping away the remnants of the evil sect 500,000. Since then the northern region's evil sect has been full of wind. 10 years dare not make waves. 60 years ago, I led the Shao family's 3,000 sword cultivators south to sweep away the evil sect millions, suppressing the alliance of 108 sects, so that the battle was over, in exchange for the sword sect's peace today. And the sect master's mouth of Fanglang, how can it be compared with me, the sword? Blade was a touch of cold light. I swung the sword directly. The sword energy was fierce. He instantly looked like ashes, trembling all over, screaming in panic, "Bastard! How dare you draw your sword against me? The elders of the law enforcement hall are fast. Stop him quickly." But I have no intention of killing at all. My reputation has been passed on to 1005. The experience of the previous life has made my heart like ashes. Take back the sword, turn around and leave. Back then with the previous sect master, I swept all directions, wrong flute millions. The whole layer was defeated. The cold eyes swept through the law enforcement hall and the elders. They bowed their heads to avoid. Their eyes were full of fear and admiration. No one dared to look at me, and no one dared to stop me from leaving. In the last month of the 100 years, I placed a few on near the clan land, and fulfilled the last oath with my eyes and ears hidden. The secret report of the western region's evil sect has just arrived. North. The evil show in the northern regions revived in the evil realm, plundering the people. The ninth elder led his disciples to fight for 3 days, and sent back 36 blood bellies for help, but was intercepted by the undercover eyeliner. The news was blocked. The donor was blocked. The 4 directions of the founding sect were like hell. The black clouds pressed down. The evil show invaded, difficult to parry. The well-informed began to quietly regret. Only the hinterland of Jianzhong was still brightly lit, singing every night. It was rumored that Jianzhong wanted to contain the world's decoration magic weapon, just because the undercover wanted a restaurant, and tens of thousands of disciples of the Wuling Snow sect snatched the scattered cultivation magic weapon, Jianzhong. The disciple died at the hands of the evil cultivator, turned into a puppet. The evil cultivator in the northern region conquered all the way. Within 3 days he will be with the Evil Cultivation Association in the southern region, the staff Jianzhong. The marriage date of Wu Lingshui and the undercover agent happened to be 3 days later. A day passed. The treasure hall was completed, becoming the demon cave in the mouth of the world. At noon, my cultivation ended, breaking through the sword. Immortal to achieve the former king, the purple chi of the east descended, walking in the reverse of the mountains and rivers. My face was like a god, dare to swear with the original appearance, do not want to cause unnecessary sensation. In the afternoon I received the order of Jianzhong, asking me to retro Lin Shui and the undercover wedding banquet. If you don't go, you will kill my Shao family for 3,000 constructions. I sneered and looked at the law. That person is really vicious. The map takes the opportunity to humiliate me, take the opportunity to get rid of it, and then cut the grass and remove the roots. If it were in the previous life, I might have been appointed to death. But in this life, I am no longer at the mercy of others, the power of the former king, otherworldly. I am bound to attend this wedding banquet. One day, the sword sect was full of joy and lit up, but the elder disciples who attended the banquet were worried, because they received the news that the evil cultivator was approaching, but they did not dare to speak falsely under the threat. Sect master, you are so satisfied today. Undercover as the first seat of the hall, Wu Lingshui has a tender face, he graduated shyly, and his face is full of happiness. I hate to call me the sect master. Wife. Husband, I like you the most. The two looked at each other, cold and silent, and suddenly a discordant voice. Great elder, I am expressionless and not as good as the main hall. The sword sect time foam has been breached, and I went straight to the mountain gate with my cultivation, but it has nothing to do with me at the moment. The time has passed, the 100 years are over, and the survival of the sword sect is no longer my business. The two of them have been together for 100 years. When he saw me so calm, his face wrinkled, and he saw it. Waste has arrived. There are less than 10% of the 10,000 spiritual seats left. What crime should you commit? I was silent and took a step forward, and he suddenly turned rainy, recalling the last time I drew my sword, and the undercover agent hurriedly rounded the scene. Madam, we are very happy today. Why bother with these villains? Yesterday, the spirit came from the east, and the sky fell from the sky, and it was heaven and earth praising the lady, and it was determined that the sword sect was in the hands of the lady, and it was brilliant in advance. His face gradually changed, and he raised his glass to everyone. My husband said it well, don't worry about the wedding banquet, and the waste will be solved tomorrow. Listen to what my husband said. This sect has long said that the husband is a person of heavenly favor. On the eve of the wedding, the sun comes from the east, and the sky has a vision. Ask who in the world can compare to the husband, one or two. You accompany me to drink this cup. Everyone was helpless. This scalp sat down to drink. I picked up the wine glass and drank it all. Although there was poison in the western regions in the wine, it was difficult for the immortals to resist. But as the immortal king, I was naturally fearless. The Lord saw me drinking, in a good mood, continued to preside over the wedding banquet, and the banquet went to the halftime. The drunken Gulingshuo was floated into the sect master's hall by the undercover agent, and soon the undercover agent Xingxing suddenly slapped his glass and broke the room. The young sect leader has an order, and all of them are covered.